And so I just wanted to pop on here today, and I'm going to do another unscripted live for you guys, because for some reason those always turn out to be the best. But I do have a topic I want to talk about, and it's your thoughts. This is one area that the Bible and science come together. They agree. Neuroscience, the science of psychology, the science of your mind, also scripture, they come together on this fact, and that is that your life is moving in the direction of your strongest thoughts. And if you want to know what your thoughts are and what your beliefs are, look at your behavior. Because your behavior is the middleman between how your life goes. Your behavior is heavily reliant on your thought pattern. Proverbs 27 says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. That means what you believe inside, what your mindset is, what your pattern of thought is. Now, just so you know, definition for mindset that I use, it's your habitual thought patterns that drive and dictate your experience in life. That's mindset. So Proverbs 27 says, as a man think in his heart, so is he. What that is saying is that your strongest thought pattern, it is that you believe inside, what these repetitive thoughts are, you will become externally. Here's some examples. If you, I don't know, say maybe you're a business owner, maybe you're in network marketing, maybe you're in some other online business, and you have the repetitive thought that it doesn't matter what I say, they're going to reject me. They're going to reject me. They're going to say no. If you have that, and that's common, by the way, that's common. If you have that repetitive thought, are you likely to take the behavior that is required in order to grow your business? Or are you going to think that it's not worth it? If you are trying to lose weight, and maybe you're on your 5th year in a row with a New Year's resolution of losing 20 pounds and keeping it off for the year. If you have the repetitive thought pattern that, oh, it's just one snack isn't going to hurt, that's not going to completely derail me, and you have that repetitive thought pattern over and over again, are you likely to stick to a meal plan that doesn't include unhealthy snacking if you have the mindset that it's just one? It's just one. It's not going to matter. So if you don't stick to that meal plan, that's your behavior. What is your result going to be? It's not going to be what you want it to be. It's not going to be that you lose the weight and keep it off. That's for sure. Maybe you are going out with friends and you are like me sometimes and you are socially awkward. I've learned to embrace that side of myself, is that I can be socially awkward sometimes. Like, it is what it is, right? Before, and I'm going to speak this from my own personal experience, okay? This is my own personal story. Very personal, actually. It took me a long time to come to this conclusion. I knew that I could be socially awkward, and other people, I believed that other people saw me as awkward, and because they saw me as awkward, they didn't really like me. Like, they tolerated me in public places. They tolerated my presence. They didn't actually like me. They didn't actually want to be friends. So that was my belief. My behavior, because of that belief, was I'm not going to put myself out there. I'm not going to open up. I don't want to go and meet new people. And I know that 90% of you watching have told yourself, I don't like meeting new people. Why is that? Are you just going to accept that thought, that belief? Why is it that you don't like meeting new people? Is it because you don't think that they enjoy meeting you? Is it because you feel like you have to be somebody that you're not in order to keep a relationship going? What is it? Why? Why don't you like meeting new people? So for me, I didn't want to meet new people. Every single person is just like you. They are living in their own world, in their own experience. They're doing the best with the resources that they have. They're just living. They're just living their own experience. So if you can remove yourself from that outcome of expecting people aren't going to like you, and take a step back and look at it, you'd realize, like I did, that my hesitancy to meet other people, to go out and talk to people, was fueled by my belief that I was socially awkward and that people thought I was socially awkward, and therefore they didn't want to actually know me, that they were just tolerating me. So I didn't make friends. I felt alone, like I had no deep connections with anybody, and that's a lonely life. So my whole point with this is that your thoughts are the wind that drives your sails in the direction of your life. It's what you're thinking. It's what you believe. And if you want to know what you believe, maybe you're not used to taking stock in what it is that you're thinking about, because that's all of us, by the way. Nobody starts out life thinking about what they think about. But those 6 words, think about what you think about, will change your life if you take them seriously. So here's something that you can do. It's called a thought audit. It's basically just taking stock of what you think about on a daily basis. If you're like me and you like facts, I'm going to give you some facts. 90%, up to 90% of your thought patterns are on repeat from the day before and the day before. Most of them are not original thoughts. Most of the thoughts that you have, like I say, they're on repeat. They're not original. They're from the day before, or they're from somebody else that deposited them into your mind. They're not original. And they're like a broken record on repeat. The next thing that I want to bring to your attention is not only are they on repeat, 80% of those thoughts are negative. And this is like average person. 80% of your thoughts that are on repeat are negative. So if your life, let's do some deductive reasoning. If your life, the direction of your life is steered by your thought patterns, and your thought patterns are on repeat and they're negative, where is your experience in life going? You don't need to answer. That's pretty self-explanatory. It's going negative. You are never going to reach your fullest potential. You are never going to step into fully what it is that God has for you, your purpose. Never. You might think you're walking in it, but if your thoughts are negative and those are what are dictating your life, you're not walking in it. His purpose for you does not include negative thought. His purpose for you does not include being tied down and shackled down to the lies that the enemy has placed in your mind. Oh, what if they don't like me? What if I say something stupid? I'll never get anywhere. I'm never going to get out of this pit. I'm always going to be broke. The enemy uses words just like God did. God used words to bring about creation. Let there be light. He spoke words. Jesus himself is the word. Okay? In Proverbs it says it is the glory of God to conceal a matter, and the glory of kings to search it out. The word for matter, the Hebrew word for matter, was dabar. It's translated as matter, but it means word. It means word. The enemy uses words too, guys, because there's power in words. There's power in what you speak over yourself. There's power in your belief. There's power in it. And the enemy will use it for bad as much as he can, just as much as the Lord uses it for good. And you're like walking this fence, like you're teeter-tottering on this fence. And on one side you have the enemy using words of discouragement, of failure, of you'll never be enough, of you're not worthy, of you can't do it, of you're always going to be broke, of they don't like you, of they don't want to hear what you have to say. All these things, you're going to fail. They're going to reject you. You have the enemy on one side of this fence speaking those words to you, and on the other side of the fence you have God, Jesus, who is saying, you are an overcomer. You can do anything through the strength that I give you. I am here for you. We are creators. You are meant to prosper. I want you to live an abundant life. You can do this. You have those words on this side of the fence, and you're walking down the middle, and you quite literally have the control to decide which side of the fence that you step off of. That control is in your thought patterns. That control lies in your belief system, which is what your thought patterns are. Because I'm going to tell you something, and this might be a harsh truth. You can say that you believe something, but if you do not act it out, you don't believe it. In James, it says, a faith without works is dead. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that you're dead. It means that your faith is dead. It means that in order to bring it alive, you need to be obedient. You need to speak life. You need to think life. And by thinking life, you will act accordingly. So if you want to know what you believe, really believe, not what you're telling yourself you believe, that's different. If you want to know what you believe, look at your behavior. Because if you believe that the Lord has put you on this earth to be abundant, and that you can do anything through Christ who strengthens you, and that it doesn't matter what is put in your face, you are an overcomer. If you believe, really believe that, then you are going to overcome. You are going to be abundant. You are going to do anything that you put your mind to with Christ backing you. But if you say that, oh, I can do anything, but you don't actually believe it, because listen, those saying it and not believing it are two different things. If you say, oh, yeah, no, God wants me to be abundant, and then you don't act on that, do you believe it? Do you? Really? I guess think about that. So the thought audit that I was talking about is to take stock of the thoughts that you have on repeat. You can do this in a journal. You can do it in your notes in your phone. Whenever you get a negative thought or you feel a negative emotion, trace that emotion to the thought that caused the emotion. That's in my workbook. Oh, by the way, I have a free workbook for you if you want to learn how to audit your thoughts and you want to go through the process to actually replace them with truth. You can DM me the word workbook and I will send you a free download. It's done in a biblical way. It's basically a workbook that will teach you how to find these thought patterns so that you can think about what you're thinking about, so that you don't have to stay stuck, right? That's the goal. So if you want that workbook for free, you can just literally click the link and download it and then print it out. Back to my point though, is that your thoughts steer your life. They steer your life. And whatever direction your life is going in, if you're not happy with where you are in your life right now, if you don't feel challenged, if you don't feel like you're fulfilled, if you don't feel like you're walking in your purpose right now, the next step, the very next step you need to take is not to change your behavior. Behavior modification works, but only with heart transformation behind it. Behavior modification is temporary. That's like the entire personal development and self-help world. Like they teach you all these tactics and all these tools, but they don't give you the foundation that you need. But that's why the self-help business is in business. Because if what they gave you actually solved the problem, you wouldn't need them anymore and they would lose out on business. Let's be real. My goal as a coach is to graduate you from my coaching so that you don't need me anymore. That's the goal. I don't want you to stay stuck where you are forever. I want you to grow. All right, that was my soapbox. Behavior modification is temporary. Heart transformation will make your behaviors change and it will stick. Heart transformation, like in the Bible, when it talks about your heart, like as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. They're talking about your innermost being, your belief system, like the very roots that make up who you are and what you experience. That's what they're talking about when they say your heart in the Bible. Heart transformation is quite literally an upheaval and a changing, a renewing of your mind in Romans 12:2. That's what heart transformation is. That is what will drive permanent behavior modification. That is it. You cannot have permanent behavior modification without heart transformation first. It doesn't work. You will find yourself on the hamster wheel of try and fail over and over again until eventually you're going to be so tired of starting and stopping that you're just going to stop and not start again. That's when you give up on your dreams. That's it. I'm literally giving you the keys to the kingdom here. You have to change your thoughts. You have to. And it's not passive. It doesn't just happen. Being transformed comes to Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind so that you can test and prove God's good, perfect, and pleasing will, right? Being transformed, the Greek word that Paul used was metamorphoso. Metamorphoso came from the definition of being like broken down, literally torn apart into something unrecognizable and then put back together. When is the last time you saw something go through that process? Passively. Never. Never. It's an active process, which means you have a role to play. My workbook will walk you through that process. And if you want, let's get on a free call. Like I am so certain about the benefits of this workbook. I'm so certain that it's going to work for you that I will give up 30 minutes of my time for free. I don't care what thoughts you're having. I will give up 30 minutes of my time to get on a call and walk through it with you and dive deeper into the questions that are in there so that you can actually leave that 30 minutes knowing exactly the blueprint. Okay, I got to stop this thought. I got to stop this thought. This thought has caused this, and here's what I'm going to do to change it. That's what this workbook does for you. So if you want the workbook, send me a private message. Go to my most recent reel and comment the word workbook. It will get sent to your inbox. You click the link, you type in your email, the workbook is downloaded into your email, and you print it out and you freaking go to town. That's it. It's like that simple. All right, I gotta go to work. But I hope you guys got some value out of that today. Love you guys. Take care.